This is a quick segment. We had to respond to a Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless argument because Skip's an idiot and he likes to call out some of the best tight ends of the league and say that they are a worse athlete than Tom Brady, who barely made it out of the draft in the 6th round and who has been playing for 20 years behind some of the best offensive linemen in the league and who has, granted, won a lot of Super Bowls, so I can't take that away from him.
I guess.
Had one of the best coaches in the NFL, and I'd say probably the best coach of all time in the NFL.
Cheats his way.
Can you name another coach that is better than Bill Belichick?
Bill Did you say Belichick? Isn't like Pelican?
I think it came out as Belichick for some reason. Bill Belichick.
I'm gonna say
Vince Lombardi.
Paul Brown. No, we'll say no.
I can't name a coach better than Bill Belichick. And
McCarthy?
I mean, you said, you named a few that are good and maybe greats, but of all time.
I mean, ever do it?
Playoffs.
That's the hard part, right? So like to ever do it. And
playoffs.
Now we can say that Belichick hasn't done it without Brady, because that's always been an argument.
No, he has not.
And
that's the first statement.
Brady did it without Belichick.
He did.
That is also an argument.
But he did it with Bruce Arians.
He also did it with a good Antonio Brown, a Mike Evans, who's at the cream of the crop of receivers, and
Chris
Leonard
Godwin,
Fournette, who played very well. Chris
Yep.
Godwin's a solid number 2.
And a top defense.
And a top 5 defense.
That's right.
We're forgetting Gronkowski, too.
Oh, and one of the greatest tight ends of all time.
Which is the set part of the whole argument.
Correct. So, I didn't even look at that.
What?
Who did Shannon Sharp have throwing him the ball over the career of his tenure?
He played in...
He played in 2 different
Denver.
teams. He played on 2 different teams. He played on Denver for the majority of his career.
No, see, now I don't.
Then he played in Baltimore and then back to Denver.
Sorry.
So, I mean, I'm going to be honest, right? So, like, personally, Skip, you're an idiot.
Oh, he almost did it.
You're an idiot.
He almost dropped the hammer.
The reason why I'm going to say you're an idiot is because the quarterback position since Tom Brady's entered the league has become the softest position in the NFL.
You do it.
Right?
Yeah, it's soft as shit.
Softest position in the NFL.
Soft like
and the tight end
Sherman,
position has become the most dominant position offensively in the NFL, I would say.
Do it. He got me.
Excuse me?
So we're going to just have this argument right here because I brought up some Shannon Sharp stats really quick.
Talk to me, girl.
So we have top 4 tight ends in the NFL. We got Tony Gonzalez, who's probably one of the greatest of all time to do it. You have, apparently I can't read my own writing.
Same.
Oh, Antonio Gates, who is another greatest of all time to do it. And then Gronkowski, who, by the way, played with Tom Brady. And Gronkowski was one of the greatest to do it of all time.
Do it.
And in the least amount of years. So, and then Shannon Sharp is right there. So, I'm going to run this through real quick. Shannon Sharp, 14 years, 204 games, 815 receptions, 10,000 yards, 62 touchdowns. That's pretty solid in 14 years. Now, I will say, Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, and Rob Gronkowski all have better stats than Shannon Sharp.
Did they all play longer?
So, Antonio Gates and Tony Gonzalez both played a year longer, and 270 games and 236 games for those two. So they both played a substantial amount longer, which is kind of weird because, you know what? I think it's because Shannon Sharp only played a couple games in his first year, and then he had a year in '99 where he only played 5 games. So,
and then he had he played 16 games in '91, but he started 9.
Yeah, so I mean, there's definitely a few years where he was not in it, but 10,000 yards over 204 games is kind of where I'm standing. Whereas Tony Gonzalez had 270 games for 15,000 yards. So if we want to do the math really quick, because I need a calculator to do this.
Whack. You said quackulator.
Quackulator.
Oh my Lord, the Vikings are gonna do it. Wow. What?
I did it backwards.
Pay attention.
The game's on the TV.
I know. I did it backwards, though. I suck at math sometimes.
They're going to go for 2.
Math is hard.
Do
Okay.
it.
Hold on.
The break
15127 divided by 270.
You got this.
All right.
Oh.
So that is only 56 yards a game.
As a tight end, that's like not ass.
That doesn't seem right. Did I do that right, Johnny?
No.
15127.
What'd you do?
Sorry.
What was the math?
15127 divided by 270 equals.
He had 100.
That ain't right either.
No, he had 100. How much?
It's 56 and a quarter.
It is 56.
Yeah,
No, there's another 1 in there somehow. That keeps happening.
Well, fat fingers.
So 56 and a quarter. All right. So then let's take and that was the number 1 tight end of all time. To 10,000. Technically, it's 10,050.
We're doing this right off the rip, so please
because
bear
we
with us.
we saw this video with
He made us watch Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless and got really upset. He got triggered.
I'm agitated because it's BS.
Yeah, he was very upset.
49 and a quarter for Shannon Sharp per game. So 10 yards less per quarter or per game than Tony Gonzalez, but 62 touchdowns over 14 years. It's a pretty solid career.
I mean, it's good.
And I think 3-time Super Bowl champ. So, and Shannon Sharp played for 14 years. Is it Shannon Sharp's fault that the guy who can't be touched by anybody on the defense gets to play another 10 years longer?
Well, no. I mean, you're making me defend Tom Brady. One, that's ass. That's a shit defense. Two, no. It's not comparable. The positions don't compare.
At all, right?
No, not at all. So, for Skip to go ahead and say that, anything even close to that, ignorance. And he knows it. But that's why they put it on TV, because he's an ignorant person.
Skip's an idiot.
I mean, he's a half-witted moron.
To come out and say that Shannon Sharp
is not as good a player or athlete
as Tom Brady just because he didn't play 10 years longer.
You could make the argument he's just way better.
He straight up said, Shannon Sharp, it's your fault you didn't play to 45. Tom Brady's so much better than you. Yeah, what did you say? The position, a tight end consists of blocking, consists of pass protection, consists of sometimes tackling. Yep. How often do you see a quarterback tackle?
Never. I'm sorry. One Baker did. He threw his shoulder out. So
right. Tackling, catching, running. There's not a thing that a tight end can't do in the NFL. And Shannon Sharp was at the beginning of that, before tight ends were just blocking guys.
That's true.
So he started a whole wave of tight ends compared to what Tom Brady's done in the NFL, who's just probably continued what some of the greatest before him did.
Yeah, and that,
when you consider what Brian Sipe.
You look at Brady, right? He's pass league leading leader, right? Okay, great. He's got at least per ESPN, per new stats, he's got 88,105 yards. That's pretty great, right?
Well, it's phenomenal.
That's
over
amazing.
23 years.
Seeing as how you are the league leader and you've played for 23 years. You know who's second?
Dan Marino?
Drew Brees.
Oh, that's right. Drew Brees
80,358 yards.
And he's played three years
less years.
Three less years, he'd be past him if you consider his average.
You sure would.
All right. Well, that's fine. I said Shannon Sharp was the number 4,
if
essentially,
Brees would have played 3 more years. 3 more. It's saying a 4,000-yard clip, because that's pretty average for Brees.
He only has to do 25 a year, and he'd surpass him.
There you go. That's I don't think there's much argument after that. Peyton, 17 years, 71,940.
So Peyton is 6 years behind him? No.
Yes.
17. Yeah, 6 years would be 23. So, and he's 16,000.
16 and change.
So that's 4 a year. I mean, that's a little hard to do, but possible for Peyton. Not at his time, but. And I agree that in the end of Tom Brady's career, 4,000 yards a year is pretty damn impressive.
It is.
But when you have one of the best receivers in the league, Mike Evans.
I don't disagree. You have a huge supporting cast. Huge.
What is Mike Evans? 6'4", 240?
Mike Evans, he's the guy you look for.
He's a target.
He is amazing.
He's Gronk with speed and distance.
Mike Evans
with speed.
is 6'5", 231.
Yeah, that's a big target.
How about that? Massive red zone.
That's a big target.
Massive red zone target.
Did you... so Shannon's quarterback, or quarterbacks, was John Elway.
Well, Elway's on this list.
He had, and then there was games with others in it. Sure. Tommy Maddox in 92.
I lied.
Tommy Maddox.
Hugh Millen in 94. Bill Musgrave in 96. Bubby Brister in 98. And Chris Miller in 99. And then when he came back in 2002 and 2003, he had Brian Grice, Steve Buerlein, Jake Plummer, Steve Buerlein, Danny Cannell, and Jarius Jackson.
So what you're telling me is you put up like 700-yard seasons with no-namers.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying those guys are actually no-namers, but in reality, when you come into statistics of the career of these players, those guys are no-namers compared to these top quarterbacks.
Yeah, I lied.
How long did he have Elway for?
Elway's not on this list.
Elway all in the 90s.
So from 90 to 99?
Yeah.
The whole decade?
That's funny. Elway's not in the top 10 list.
Right.
So and
And then
Elway is not a top 10 quarterback.
And I don't know who he had in Baltimore the one year that he was there. That ironically he won the Super Bowl
Trent Dilfer.
in Baltimore.
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
You know what's funny? I think it's hilarious that
No, that would be Trent Dilfer because that was when the Browns left.
I think,
and that
yeah.
was the Ravens won Super Bowl. That's Trent Dilfer. Yeah. And he was garbage too. Just an FYI for an update for all you people out there. We called Minnesota to beat the Colts, and right now it is currently tied 36-36. The Colts were up 33-0, and Minnesota just brought it back. They scored 36 unanswered points.
You know what's funny?
2001 was when he was in there. And
Listen, I don't mean to be this guy right now, Jonathan. I don't mean to cut you off, but it's happening again to Matt Ryan, and I just think that is 100% hilarious.
I mean, the defense scored all those points. But hey, let's get back to our argument. So, like, go ahead with the Tom Brady because you were a pretty far ways.
Oh no, I don't like defending this guy. Right? I don't think he is.
I don't think you're defending him. I think you're just making a statement.
Statistically speaking, Matt Ryan's got 15 years in the NFL, and he's on the top 10 list
for yardage.
For yardage, it's sorry, Brady, right? Who's still playing as of right now? Breeze retired, Manning retired, Brett Favre retired, Big Ben retired, Phillip Rivers,
and
retired.
all these guys are under 20 years retirement.
Matt Ryan. I'm sorry. The closest was Breeze was 20, Favre was 20. Everybody else is well under 20 years.
Well, Ben was 18, right?
I don't know. No, it said 17.
Okay.
Anyway, but Matt Ryan's at 15 years. That's including the season.
And how many yards does Matt Ryan have currently?
Matt Ryan, 62,610. Matt Ryan could very well pass Phillip Rivers.
Well, he has to stay in the league for another 7 years. But we'll see.
Oh,
we'll see.
Jesus. And then you got Dan Marino at 16 seasons, 61,361 yards.
Oh, Dan Marino is one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
You can't argue that. He threw it to nobody with nobody doing nothing.
Only undefeated teams.
It hurts.
I don't think he was there that year, actually. That was in the 80s. No, it was before then. Anyways. But
we went over this previously. However,
yeah, it's
then you got some dude named Aaron Rodgers and then Eli.
Oh. Wait, Eli's on the list with Tom Brady?
Top 10.
Oh, wow, that's disgusting.
Eli's 10. Eli is 10.
No,
disgusting.
No, Eli's number 1 because Eli beat Brady.
Eli beat Brady twice.
Twice, baby, when it mattered most,
Eli's
baby.
undefeated against Tom Brady.
Yo.
And Shannon Sharp, that's what you should have said. I never got beat by Eli, the brother that could.
Oh,
Right.
oh, gee.
I'm just saying, I love Eli, too.
What are they doing? They're punting the ball away?
So all I got to say is this one goes out to Shannon Sharp. Everybody, I think, in the fandom has your back.
Yeah, no,
Because this
dude,
is a stupid comparison.
it's piss poor argument. I got to be honest.
I think Shannon Sharp could tackle Brady right now and he'd call a flag.
I mean, oh, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I just mean we had a rule created just so you couldn't hit Tom Brady. Literally, it's called the Tuck rule.
and it's been so long, I think Sharp was still playing.
It's
I remember that, man.
It's ridiculous.
It is crazy.
And Tom Brady even agreed that it's a fumble.
Yeah, I did. He's like, no, it was a fumble.
So-
Guess what, Tom?
We just wanted to bring that out. We're a little agitated at that video. At least I was.
Skip says something like, it's Thomas Edward Brady.
Thomas Edward James.
Yeah, some
Tom has like 2 middle names.
Oh, he's got his baptized name in there too. Yeah, whatever. It is what it is.
I mean,
Now,
and I
listen,
just
man.
defended Brady because the man's going through hell at home, and I just defended him last week.
I mean, hey man, he's doing okay.
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
And then all of a sudden, this idiot goes on, and I have to freaking rip Sharp because, or not Sharp. I have to rip Skip because he's a freaking moron.
Listen. Let me go off on a limb here.
I've come to talk with you again.
Why are you playing? why are you hitting me with this? What is this nonsense?
That's for the moron.
They are dumb. I will take Drew Brees. I will take Peyton Manning. Shoot,
That'd be a question, right? That'd be a serious question. So you're going to draft the team.
You're gonna go by
draft the team.
rings? Shoot.
You're obviously going to, if you're going to pick a tight end overall, right? Like at 1, you're probably going to pick Gronk. That's me personally. I actually probably, like I said, I like the Tony Gonzalez thing because that dude did numbers when he was in the NFL.
I do not hate Tony. I don't. Never will.
But like, if you're going to pick a quarterback overall, I think there's 5 or 6 other quarterbacks I could pick over Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah.
Can you name 5 or 6 tight ends you could pick over Shannon Sharp?
5 or 6? No. I can't do it. I mean, all right. So fun example. Over Shannon Sharp.
Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy.
I'm kidding.
I mean, that's
so it's
fine.
all right,
Go
so-
ahead.
but-
Pick Jimmy Graham.
so
But can you name 4 others?
No.
Guys playing right now, right? Over Shannon Sharp. I mean, like over Shannon Sharp? No,
Right
I mean,
now,
what
Travis
Kelsey?
Kelce, right.
Kelsey
I ain't picking Andrews. He drops half his passes.
agreed.
Well, and Andrews has only been in the league for what, 5?
He's been in the league for like 7 years, but
What?
like
What?
20. He's 28.
No, he played with Baker.
No, he's under his full contract. He's under 28. I could be wrong.
He played with. I don't, all right, you know what? Maybe you're right.
No, I mean I could be wrong.
2018.
They're gonna win this
Is when he
flipping
got
game.
Okay, so
They're gonna
4
do it.
years?
4th and 1. They're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
So
So you can't say because it's only 4 years compared to again Kelsey.
So Kelsey, right? So I'll say Kelsey.
Just to let you know,
What?
Minnesota's favored by 3.5.
They're about to kick field.
What did they say? 3 at home.
What did they say?
Whatever, Wheels. All right, you got it. So I mean, like, okay, what? Kelsey, Gonzalez. Who was 2?
Antonio Gates.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably taking Sharp over Gates.
That's
And I
fine.
like Gates.
It's fine. Gronkowski and then
I
Gronkowski.
might take Sharp over Gronkowski.
And if Hernandez maybe had been in the league, maybe.
Long enough. And then at
That
5
one's a
and then
riff.
on Pro Football Network,
They're punting?
it's Kellen Winslow Sr. at 5.
Oh, the
Senior,
dad.
not junior.
Listen, Kellen Winslow. If this dude wasn't
Second, I'm sorry.
yeah, if he wasn't a pile of shit, he would have been something. I promise. Oh, man, as a Browns fan, it hurts us.
But so all we're saying though is like
No,
one of the
Brady-
top 5 tight ends of all time, and there's plenty of quarterbacks that can match up with Brady,
Plenty.
who have played an extra 5 years more than almost every other quarterback that's on that list.
Dan Marino played 16 years. Never got it. Never had a defense. Not really, right? If
No,
he did,
I agree with you.
not
I
like
agree
that.
with you.
Marino. Oh, now you can,
I just think that's a garbage ass take by.
it's a bad take. It's a
That's
bad
a
take.
garbage take by Skip.
And off camera, you said that was also in the league before it became a passing league.
That was yes, I agree. So like in the 90s, tight ends weren't so much of a passer as much as they were a defender.
That's true.
And it was a running back league first.
Just
And
ask
then
Mike
it just
Ditka.
recently became, and Mike Ditka was in that list.
Ditka.
Mike
Ditka.
Ditka was in the top 10 list. But Shannon Sharp was ahead of him. So that's the argument, right? Like this has become a passing league, and Tom Brady's just riding the coattails of all of his good wide receivers.
When was the Miami undefeated season? Was that 85? Miami's.
I think
the
it was
Dolphins?
85. That's what I think
too.
it was, 85.
Right, which sucks because that is.
Was that Dan Marino?
Dan Marino was there
When
for
they
that
went
year.
16-0,
Uh,
and he didn't win.
72.
72 was the undefeated season?
Yeah, when they won a Super Bowl.
Oof.
72
well,
was when they won a Super Bowl.
Well, there it is. No, 85.
that was
85
before
it,
Marino.
Was it the 85 Bears? Who was it?
You're thinking 85.
When they lost.
It's so. I mean, you look at Dan Marino's stats. He's so good, dude. He is so good.
In the least amount of time with the worst
He's
receivers.
so good. You know who is ass that gets a whole bunch of credit, gets on TV every Sunday night, every Monday night? Troy Aikman. Dude is ass.
All Dallas quarterbacks have been mediocre.
Ass. Joe Montana did not have the career I thought he did. I mean, it is shocking. He's not even sniffing top 10 passing
I just think
yards.
the absurdity to say that Tom Brady. One, there's always been this argument, right?
What?
That Tom Brady's one of the best athletes to ever play a sport.
Yeah,
And I think
athletes.
that's the stupidest statement ever said because this dude couldn't even run a 40 in under 5 flat.
Fact check: 85 Bears did lose one game that season.
I said they lost the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it was the 72 Dolphins.
Yeah, that's the only team ever to go undefeated and win the Super Bowl.
Fins up.
Only team. Because the fear was that the Eagles were going to do it this year again.
Yeah. And
The
then-
only
and-
team to ever go undefeated and win the Super Bowl.
You know
Who
what
did they
kills?
lose to this
What?
Who?
Eagles.
Washington.
Heineke, baby,
All right.
my dude.
But I'm just saying, like, so, I mean, can we think of another argument for Tom Brady?
No, there's no.
Like,
Oh, he
keep-
got 6 rings. Okay, yes, he does.
And you
He
cheated
has
away to-
played well. No one is saying he's played poorly necessarily, right? Nobody's making that argument. However, I will say that he's considered the greatest football player of all time, and I mean,
I guess we can count out 2 seasons, right?
I would say he cheated his way.
In 08,
Stop
in 08 he
it.
only played a game. And in 2000, he only played a game. And that was his rookie year.
So that's technically 4 of those rings if you count the 2.
what's
cheating years.
I see? I don't have the stat. I maybe you guys know. What is the average completion percentage for quarterbacks?
It's around 62. It's like 61 and a half, 62.
He's
like 65, right?
64.3 career.
Yeah.
That's pretty flippin' good.
Yeah, no, it's good, but like, what is Drew Brees? Who's one of the most accurate quarterbacks to ever play the game.
Which he was. You know that.
That would be your argument, right?
Oh, no,
Hold on.
So quarterbacks completed 57.1% of passes all time.
51?
Yeah. So every pass thrown in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, but that's not
is
average.
57%.
Yeah,
That's
what I'm
total.
taking.
So like you're taking
Drees.
guys that don't even start games,
Brees is good.
and you're adding them in there.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah,
67.7 career.
I hate how the NFL, by the way, doesn't put up stats for guys that aren't on the league.
Dude, that's gross.
Look at that.
Yeah.
They won't put up stats for guys that aren't in the league.
Why?
It's just
Why remove that from your database?
I just think it's one of the things that they might be not opted in anymore.
That's dumb.
So Drew Brees was what?
67.7.
Yeah, he's one of. I think he's the most accurate quarterback in the NFL.
I mean, 65.3 is Peyton. That's pretty good. That's actually that's pretty
That's what I'm
solid,
saying.
guys.
Like when you look at position so I guess so the real question is, what do you rate a quarterback as? Because do you blame it on his completions? Do you blame it on his touchdowns to interceptions? I would probably rank it more TD to interception.
I mean, Brett Favre at 62.
The only reason I'm saying that is because what's in your control? What's in your control as a quarterback? You can't control completions, but you can control turnovers.
Okay. I mean,
That's only what I'm saying, right? Because completions, sometimes a receiver just sucks at what they do.
you can control. Okay, so if you can't,
And who had one of the best wide receivers to ever complete the ball?
I mean, Dante Culpepper.
Tom Brady.
Oh yeah,
Wes Welker. Golden Gloves, man.
Randy Moss.
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. Who's the greatest receiver of all time? You could make the argument it was Randy Moss.
There are people
it was
that make,
only one
there
season.
are people that make that argument, though.
Yeah, Randy Moss. Oh, he's so good. Oh my God, I'm getting a chub over here.
I'm just saying, Drew
ever look at
Brees.
his
Drew
stats?
Brees. If Drew Brees didn't retire and have to deal with all the bullshit he had to deal with the last 2 years, Drew Brees is hands down better than Tom Brady.
Yep.
Hands down.
I think
I wish
Hands
he would have got his ring.
down.
His ring was last year, but the Rams destroyed that for him on a bullshit call.
And he dealt with bullshit
Yep.
at the Chargers when he got drafted.
Oh man, he played for the Chargers for like 5 years, dude.
Well, it was 3 years, injury, cut. Then he went to the Saints and then ripped and went through the playoffs. And then I think it was 2 years after that he played. It was 5 years total. He got cut the fifth year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was his fifth year out. It wasn't a fifth year option.
So-
They didn't have that then.
His first year, 2001, he only played one game. And
Right.
and then it was 16 games, 11 games, 15, 16.
Hey, Johnny
And
G.
you know what happened to him in that last game before he went out for a year?
I did not.
You don't
Well,
know?
no, he
He
still
tore
played.
he tore his opposite shoulder labrum.
Oh.
Oh,
But he still played
I think
in
it was the
2007.
Baker Mayfield injury.
Oh, and he went out for a whole season.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that he could
Oh, yeah.
get better and support his team.
Now you know why everybody compares Baker statistically right to Drew Brees.
Well, because he was. Yeah.
Drew Brees' first 5 years in the NFL were not that good.
So
They were not that good.
2005, he had almost 3,600 yards. 2004 was 3,200, 2,100, 3,300.
Oh my God, he was ass.
So
He was average.
He did not get, and he didn't even
was average.
sniff 4,000
And then he
until
went
New
to the
Orleans,
Saints.
and
Yep.
then he was never under.
so
I think he had 3,800 was like his low.
I'm sorry, his last 2 years he was under 3,000.
Well, that's because he was out for 6 games one of the years. And then the next year he broke his
2020.
ribs and he was done.
I mean, 2019 only played 11 years. 2020 only played
11
12.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he wasn't necessarily the greatest.
Drew Brees?
No. Like in San Diego or in the Chargers.
Oh no, he sucked. He sucked on the
Yeah,
Chargers.
I mean, like he wasn't great.
But I'm just saying, like statistically, and that's even right a factor because Tom Brady only played a year, or he only played one game his first year, and then he went 16, 16, 16, 16, 16, right?
Right.
And then Drew Brees played a shit ton, was mediocre, and then all of a sudden Drew Brees took off, and Tom Brady's been
Yeah, he's been coasting.
until his end of his career. Where, like I said, we got him Mike Evans, Chris Godwin.
Like nobody is saying that Tom Brady is bad.
You
player.
can't. You can't.
You
right?
cannot. Nobody is saying that. However, you've probably tuned out by now. So
But he is not even in the top 5.
I don't. Well,
For
he's
what?
he's
All time? No.
That's what I'm saying. Brady, no.
Who are you gonna?
well,
put in?
he's the greatest
Okay,
of all
so-
time to ever do it, but is he statistically the greatest of all time?
Over who?
I would say
okay,
no.
so like yardage, right? So so yardage, sure,
And-
but he's got 3 to 6 to 5 years
then
on everybody.
the other thing is athletically,
he's
is
not.
he the greatest of all time
No.
to do it? And I would say no. And that's my argument to the moron. I
Skip.
lost his name.
Skip,
That's my argument
Hey,
to Skip.
Skip.
Is
Skip.
that Shannon Sharp
Skip.
is one of the most athletic to do it.
Oh, facts.
So we're just gonna leave it at that.
That's it.
And
I mean,
KJ Osborne's down. Sorry, guys. 9 receptions,
Look at this.
141 yards. I called it.
Damn it.
All right, so we're gonna let you guys go. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys did, we're gonna post this up a little bit later. We're a little pissed off at.
Wait, who said play KJ?
This guy.
We both did.
We all did. I said play KJ, not Thielen.
Well, all of them have yards, to be
I
honest.
think so. I don't know.
I think.
Anyway.
I think
Anyways,
I think
yeah.
Kirk
Appreciate
has
y'all.
400.
God bless.
Bye.
Deuces.